the amount of things that are causing disruption, the amount of distractions, the amount of money that these, in football, how much money are some of these cats getting just to play with the team that they played with last year? They got the kids getting the bag off a Jimmy John's commercial. And then you walk in, you're like, oh man, like this is different than Ray Allen days. Yeah, they may have been flying a commercial. They didn't have nutritionists, but they also didn't have someone tweeting about them after the game, like, yo, this guy's just throwing or whatever, right? Like, how do you combat that? Like, it's a new landscape for what you have to do, and it seems like every day there's another distraction and another detraction from the process.
Yeah, facts, man. All true. Majority of confidence comes from the ability to be adaptable, and what's your belief on how you feel like you are in an environment that's constantly changing. So you're right. I think there's always this evaluation based off of what needs to be prioritized and where the chaos and the noise is coming from. I do think sports psychs, mental conditioning skills, performance psychologists, I do think it's becoming a box that's being checked, right? So I don't think, and that's the thing, I think honestly, Jay, and this is where I think you're on a truly different trajectory in life and purpose, is because the missing ingredient to any good gumbo, man, is resonance. That's what it is, man. Like, don't tell me what you know. Tell me why it matters to me. And more important, make it feel as if this is a space that you're carving out because of me, not because of you. So there's a lot of people who have a lot of information. You know what I'm saying? But we can only consume what we can consume. And chances are, if we don't have that resonance and that connection, it's all plus minus anyway. It's not growing roots into where it needs to grow roots into. Right? So yes and no. Yes, there are more people who are now being brought in from the standpoint of how the mind impacts performance. There are more bottom lines being factored into, let's make sure we create a budget for X. Is enough work being placed into, is this person skilled enough to make sure they take this textbook knowledge and make it applicable to a high percentage of the athletes that we're invested in? I don't think so. I think right now the work is getting to, all right, well, if Jordan is showing signs of ADHD, let's have him meet with Candace. Candace, write a prescription for him, take some pills, and you'll be ready to go tomorrow morning, right? I don't know if the work is being, in some hallways they are, but I think those are winning cultures. But more times than not, they assume that both things are created equal, and they're not. There are certain programs, certain schools that are doing a really, really top shelf job at it, making sure that they have people in the building that are going to help these young athletes, powerful athletes, feel seen, safe, and secure, and be able to go on that journey. Because as you might assume, a lot of those athletes don't even initially know whether or not they can even trust the person they're talking to, because you're getting paid by the same team that's paying them. You know what I'm saying? Which I had to find out the hard way, because I was head performance psychology coach at Inter Miami for 5 years, and the players would leave and get traded. And I'm like, Jay, I still love you, man. Let's set up. We're still meeting every Tuesday. And they were like, I'm playing for a different team, man. Like, yeah, I love you, buddy, but I still see you as part of Inter Miami. And that's where, for me, I was like, okay, this part of my life is completely closed. I need to make sure I'm doing complete independent work where I'm not associated with someone's relationship with a club. I'm doing work in isolation.
Yeah, that's interesting. Do you still find that as a barrier, like coming in as a freelance now, especially with the younger kids, like coming in, like a combine situation where, they're like this guy's wearing a wire, like he's a Colts fan or something. Like how many different barriers to, because I guess it's set and setting, right? Like if someone's, reaching out to you and is bought in from, some sort of organic reach to listen to a podcast or something, but, in a setting where an agent's setting this up, like how difficult is the process in, and maybe buy-in is the wrong word, but if you're there by anyone else's dime other than the person across from you, you must have to recognize that as a hurdle. Like what are like tools that you use to like break down that wall and be like, look, dog, like legally I can't say anything, or how do you come over? I feel like that's sometimes, and I've run into that, like I don't work for a team, man. Like I ain't saying shit.
Yeah. I think, You don't sell what you do. You don't sell what you do. You sell the love by which you do it, right? Um, I'm a strong believer more times than not when I'm in environments and I'm working with athletes, they're not obligated to work with me, right? Whether I'm in a performance environment like Yo's or I'm at the University of Miami, they're not obligated, right? So for me, what I find is always a force multiplier is to be in someone's environment in absence of needing, wanting, or trying to desire something other than someone being in their environment. So for example, and I'll clarify it, if I knew that there was an opportunity to help work with someone of your capacity, who, let's say your business partner walked out to me, he goes, hey, Fa, I think you'll be great to partner up with us. Plus, I think my business partner, Jordan, could really benefit from having you as a resource. What I would say is, if you want me to come and hang around you and present something to you on Thursday, let me get in on Tuesday. I'll pay to be here extra 2 days. And for Tuesday, I just want to go to the barbershop with you. I want to find the humanness, right? I want to see who you are in absence of, because you have to understand, whether it's University of Alabama or all these professional athletes I'm around, from the moment they sign, they'll never be in an environment where someone's telling them the truth, 9 times out of 10, right? Right. So it's almost refreshing, but it almost becomes, I've seen players struggle with, like, their mind struggling with, wait, you don't want shit from me? You get what I'm saying? So I always say, if unless it's being something that's being allocated from, hey, this player's struggling, he needs you, he knows this, so let's come in. I'll come in on Thursday, I'll leave on Saturday. But like, if I'm going into performance center and they're saying, hey, we just want you around so that players can see the benefit of it, I'll spend my own dollar just so I can be around them for a day and a half, just to be in their environment. And then what I find is, whenever you champion, we all want to be championed. We all want to be seen, right? Like, and I think whenever you're in someone's environment, and I challenge you or anyone that's listening, spend the day championing other people and watch how it makes you feel and watch how it draws people to you. Champion, not because you want to get in front of them at Starbucks, or they're about to buy the last protein bar. It's the protein bar you want, or you're trying to get their parking spot. See if you can be fully present and champion another human being. And I guarantee you it's a force multiplier. You cannot help but be moved by it. It's almost like watching someone do what they really love, right? I can watch Gordon Ramsay cook for hours, and I don't even like food like that. I can watch you. I've watched you. I've sat back and watched you do the work that you do and have been so captivated by it. And it's not because you're saying anything that's just fucking like, and you do talk a lot of shit. So there's a lot of stuff in here. I'm like, whoa. But it's the presence behind how you do it. And you can tell it because it softens the other human beings in your aura. And everyone kind of feels like everything else just kind of dissipates in the back. So to answer your question, I think when I don't make it mandatory to be in that environment so that the human could be felt, and I just go in and I'm like, all right, I'm here Thursday, it could feel very forced. And I don't like that. That doesn't feel good to my soul. And I've been in environments where someone's like, all right, we got this performance site guy in here. All right, you come in. And I hate that feeling. I don't like that feeling because it makes the person automatically feel as if I'm trying to sell them on something. So what I do to kind of change that environment, as soon as they come in, I'm like, yo, this shit gonna be hella quick. Don't worry, I'm not selling you shit. Let's just, hey, who likes to play? What position you play, big guy? No way you play linebacker. You? It's crazy, right? I connect to them on that level to where it softens that defense mechanism. And then they're like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, he's not trying to sell me up on something. This is actually something that's going to help me. So just be in an environment and see the humanness in all of us, man. I think that's what we all desire.